choose the correct template when you're creating any type of new content. How you're going to do that, if you're not sure what template to create, you're going to look at what was created, and you can see that from the side where it says template. Mine is a bit moved over, but let me just get it for you. So okay, so here it says market content at the side there. You also get in a habit of knowing what goes where, but for example, just keep that in mind. Same thing if I'm creating explore page. I want to see what was used before. Let's say I want to do a great deals and a new promotion. I can see that on the promotions, market content pages were used. And then I just want you to also remember your component is anything that you are adding to build content. So you'll see this more as we go along, but we just added a general banner not too long ago. That is a component. Whenever you add a rich text component, which you'll also see, that's something you use to build a page. The next thing I want you to remember is your sidekick here is like your menu, and this is what you're going to use to assist you with editing and building the content. Just doing a recap of some of the things. Okay, so that's just some key things to keep in mind. Also, your content finder. So whenever we upload anything to the DAM, you're gonna have the content finder at the side of the page, and this will additional questions at the moment about the home page. So I want to go into creating a phones and device page. For most markets, the marketing team has to do this because I think maybe Jamaica and Trinidad and some of the Pacific markets are the only markets that they have like a distribution person to do this. So this is relevant for a lot of you guys. So just please pay attention to this. So let's start from the top. I'm in my website structure and I need to go to phones and devices. So I'm going to open up Digicel.
No, I'm just going to activate it. Those are the two. So it's only activating the out.
And I'm going to open up Jamaica. And I'm going to go to phones and devices. If I double click, all I'm going to see is the landing page. So the landing page doesn't have any actual content on it, it just has the sections. So we can go to the Jamaica page right now to see what. So that's what this is here. Okay, so what we want to do right now is we want to create our own handset. So I'm going to go under phones and devices. I'm going to go under handset, and it depends on what kind of content that you guys want to do. So in my situation, I want to do a smartphone. So if you notice, I clicked on smartphones, and this is where I'm going to do new smartphone. So let's do that. Let's create a new phone. Let's do the Galaxy S7, which is probably already in here. but no, it actually is not. This is a UAT environment, so that's fine. We'll create a S7 page. So I'm on top of smartphones, and I'm going to do new, and I'm going to do new page, and you're going to get a list of templates. Now, I have a bunch of different templates. Can anyone tell me what template they think I'm supposed to be using for this? Thank you, Christina. Thank you, John. Perfect. So we're going to use device page. Perfect. So it's also just a common sense thing, but again, I always tell you, if you're not sure, you can just look to the side to see what was used before. Let's do Samsung S7. Make sure you're keeping it written out as how the manufacturer would expect. So, Galaxy S. And then, this is what I was talking to you guys before about. The name dictates what the URL is going to be. So, if I wanted to put this in, I'm going to put this in lowercase, Samsung Galaxy. If you do not put this in yourself, the title is going to dictate it. So it's going to spin it for you and put it in. But sometimes it does it in like a weird way if you don't do it correctly. So I put it in from time to time. So then we're just going to make sure, like we said, we're on device page. Let's make sure everything is spelled correctly. Fine, Samsung Galaxy S7, cool. Let's do create. Okay. So our template helped us to give us kind of like a structure to the page, but we don't really have any content there yet. One thing that is supposed to come up, and it's not coming up here because we're in the UAT environment, but on the live environment, if you're doing this on auto URL, basically what would happen is you would have the sorry, let me find them. We're having some issues on Jamaica, so let me just find a market that has them. Has it? Bartel, I'm not using Bartel. Sorry guys, it's very slow. Okay. So your specs, your specifications, your features here as they're called, these are put in manually by the group devices team. So if there's the features, you're going to reach out to the group devices team, Annette. She'll be able to assist with getting the specifications up, because you guys don't control these. They're pulled in from the repository section of the website, which the markets do not edit at this time. So basically that pulls in for you, but if we go back to the page, we can see that we still have some editing to do, right? So I need to do some editing here. So once again, if I click underneath my title, I created this title. If I click underneath and I do edit, or actually no, this one you're going to do from the page properties. I'm sorry. So this one I'm going to utilize my sidekick, because my sidekick is going to pull all the information that customer is going to see on the page here in front of us. So let's go to page properties. So did everybody see what I just did? I just opened my sidekick. I clicked on page properties. And this is where I have to edit my information. Okay. That should go on this page because it's going to help you pull up some of the information. So, for some reason this is not working here. And I think it's because I'm in UAT. Just give me 1 sec. Just give me 1 sec, guys. I just am having some difficulty with this particular page. I'm hearing some background noise again. Can everybody hear me? Thanks. Over the steps. So anyone just came back and just rewatch, please. So basically I did create new and I want to do a Samsung. I need to create it as a device page. Remember, the template is important. The device page. Create. Okay. Next, I want to double click and open up my page. With SMS on the services because a lot of those were redirected to services page. So, okay. Alright guys, so once you open up your page, you're going to do page properties. new and they haven't uploaded it yet, then it might not be in the list. So you'd have to reach out to them for them to do that. In our case, Samsung should definitely be in here already since it's been out for some time. So we're going to do Samsung Galaxy S7. So that is the first step. Now, just note that when you have a star next to anything, it means that it is a mandatory field. So obviously, your device type has to be a mandatory field because the system needs to pull up the correct information from the repository. Next, we have a section for a button link. Now, what you're going to put there is your store locator, where to buy, right? So please make a note of that. You need to direct the customer to your store locator. So right now I'm practicing underneath Haiti. So I need to put in Haiti's store locator. And we've done this before, remember, this is the same concept. What is your price label? It depends on what you have in your market. Do you consider it prepaid price, postpaid price? You may have more than one price. That's prepaid and more than one price. That's postpaid. So let's say you have price label as prepaid. That would be your main price, or postpaid. It's $200 for that. Then you need to add. You can add another one. So please just look at what I just did. Price label, main price. Add item. That's how you add more than one price. Add item. Now I can put in my prepaid price, which should be $300, right? If I wanted to add 2 prepaid prices, all I did was add another one. Large or something. Everybody would call it something different depending on your market. Okay. And then what is your tax label? So some people might have tax inclusive, some people might have tax exclusive, some people might have VAT, VAT exclusive, inclusive, etc. Depends on your market, but that field is there so that the customer knows whether or not this price includes tax. So that's important for you to put as well. Okay. So far what have we put in? We put in our device type, or button link for our store locator, or price labels, or tax label. Next, we have a short description here that we can put in. What your short description is, it's that description that used to be on the home page. In the new design, we don't use it as much, but you could still, we don't use it at all actually in the new design because these are not reflected on the home page anymore. But if you're one of the few markets that have the old design still, then you need to put it in, although those should all be sent over to the new design very, very soon. Let me go back to that. Okay. So, great. So we did the configuration tab. Does anybody have any questions about the configuration tab? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay, so when you go to the basic tab, the title is already filled out there because we already created it, right? So more titles. Now is where you need to put in some of this stuff, and it's very important for SEO purposes. So What I usually do is I use my title for my page title, but I like to put the market as well. So I just put that there. And then you also need your description and your SEO description. So what you would do is you'd use your text here. For example, what we're looking at right now for this DL, and you'd put that there. So if you need a description, you can reach out to group. Just keep in mind it might take a little bit longer, so just you'd have to reach out to me and give me some time for me to get it to you. And then even if you're in a market that is a different language, you could have that translated. Like Haiti would need to have that translated for their market. But you would put the description in. And that would be your description, which would, show your key selling points and your features, etc., etc. in this tab. So these are the most important fields: your title, your page titles, and your description and SEO description. You're not going to have to worry about any vanity URL or anything in there. So that one is simple. As long as you have your description ready to go when you are creating a page, then that one is pretty simple as well. But then there's a different tab, and that tab is for the description. But when we say description there, we're actually showing not SEO, but what is going to go here. So it's going to be the same thing in terms of the description that you have in basic and the description that you have in here. But we want to keep the format the same. So we have a tagline and we have the paragraph copy, and that's what you'd want to put here in the description, because that's standard across all markets. And if you need any help with that, you can let me know as well when you guys are doing it individually. Okay, also you're going to need to put in a preview image. I'm thinking yes, you do. You need to put in a preview image. Your preview image is what's going to show when the customer goes to, I'm going to show you what page, when the customer goes to the smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, right. So your preview image is what the customer is going to see when they go here. So you want to make sure that that's there. Now, it is already there for you. This is another thing that group already uploads once it's, device that's part of the portfolio. So what you would do is you would just search for it and you drag it in. Now, I know that what I would do before I even start would be to just take a look in the DAM to make sure it's there, and make sure I know what it's named before I even start, because that would save me some trouble. So I'm going to go to DAM. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So So basically what I was saying is, just to make sure you already know what the name of the device is for your preview image, you just go to take a quick look at the DAM. You could do that to know where it is. So I did markets and I did devices. And by now you should be getting a little bit more familiar with the DAM and how to access it. And obviously here it's categorized by your phone device model, and I'm looking for a Samsung. So I know that I'm looking for a Samsung S7, and there we go. So I can choose if I want to do a black preview, or I believe we have it. Yeah, we have it in silver as well. So in that situation, I would just go and I would go back to my content finder and I would search for Samsung-S7 black preview. So let's do that now. Samsung-S7, and let's see.
I wanted to check on the golden loan cash buffer, the Buccaneers 100 yeah, Buccaneer cash buffer and golden loan. Thank you.
Okay, and it's just taking a bit of time to load here. Okay, so it's not coming up properly. Here's what you're gonna do if it doesn't come up properly. So look at this. Just take a note of this, because this is a problem that we've been having. So let's say that you're searching for an image and it doesn't come up properly. You need to be able to access the image, and this is given that you've already uploaded and activated the image. What you need to do is look up to the very top of your content finder where you have I hope everyone's following, because this one is important. So if you cannot find your content, sorry guys, we're having some technical difficulties. Just give us a second. There's some people that need to be muted again. Okay, so yeah, it's not very slow. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do this in UAT because this is very slow here. So basically, let me just go back to So I'm showing what you need to do in that situation. So in that situation, what you need to do is find the image using the browse icon at the top of the content finder. So where is browse? Browse is right next to products. Let's click on that. When you go to browse, you're going to see assets. It's the first thing that you see underneath content. You're going to open that up. You're going to go open up it yourself. So it's just finding where it is in the DAM. It's doing it the same way instead of clicking it, of typing it in and finding it. It's another option. It's a workaround. So we're looking for devices. So let's go to markets. Let's go to devices. And then let's go to, in this situation, we said we were looking for Samsung S7, right? So what we would do is we would find our S7 that we're looking for. In our image very easily. Okay, so to recap that, if you not find your image by typing it in the content finder, which has been happening, there's an issue we've been having, the workaround is you're going to go to browse and you're going to find the path of where the image is that you want. Once you find it, you're going to drag it and drop it over. Is that clear to everyone? This is relevant to everybody on this call in all markets right now.
Where does it lie? Where does it sit?
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Calville. Alright, so let's go back to editing the rest of the content. We're just having a bit of connection issues, so it's going very slow. Apologies. I know you would have information when you click on page properties. Remember, you're going to go to page properties to edit own content. Once you've done the basic tab and you've done your description tab and your image, it will populate once you click OK. It's just not populating now because the system is being a bit slow, but that's the action that should happen. It should populate. Yes, it just.
You want to try and use Field too?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Close out everything. Right? And it's pulling it forward.
Sure, Therese, I'll show you that. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to change the environment because we're having some problems in the environment. When you want to deactivate the device, which happens very often in markets, because you may have a device that you, on the website that you don't have in stock anymore, right? So I want to go to websites and I want to go to find my structure. So we all should be comfortable now opening up our website structure, finding yourself, finding your market. Finding your market, like I said, sorry, and then finding where it is that you want to go. For this situation, we're going to mobile and we're going to phones and devices, and we're going to find it under, let's see, smartphones. Guys, can you please mute? There's still some noise there. There are muted on on Skype for Business. I can mute them. Okay, thanks. All right, so I mean, UATs, I can deactivate any one of these. Now, let's say that the Samsung Note 5 is no longer in stock, right? We want to deactivate that section. One thing I need you guys to keep in mind is that you need to make sure that when you're deactivating a page, it's not pulling in anywhere else. So, for example, what I mean by that is, if you have a phone on your page, so let's say you're in Digital Solution, right? Okay, so I haven't changed the design on Digital Solution yet. I will soon. But let's say that you don't have the Digital DL 755 anymore, and you deactivate this page, deactivate the page, but it's on the website. This is gonna show up with just like a weird nothing. It's just gonna be empty, and it's gonna look awful, and I'm gonna be really upset because that means that you guys didn't check to see if it's pulling from another area. So these are things that you guys just need to think about. Remember that the website is kind of intertwined, and there's different places that are connected with other places. So this is where it also helps for you to actually know and be managing your content, know what is where. If we do an action like that, we want to make sure that it's not negatively affected somewhere else, because I've had that situation where people have deactivated content and then they didn't know for like a week that they deactivated it, and it was also on the homepage, which means that there however many users have already come on, and that's like a bad representation of the brand. So this is something that we need to keep in mind. So yes, you need to go to the smartphone page that you want to deactivate. You can deactivate it right from the structure, so you could click on that and do deactivate just like that, and it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to deactivate the Samsung Note 5? And you're going to do right? If you're not, you're going to do no. You could do it from the structure, or you could double click and open up the page. And you can use your sidekick. And it says deactivate the page. And you could deactivate it there. Alright, but keep in mind that you need to be checking your content after you make these changes. So, for example, if I deactivate a smartphone page, smartphone from the smartphone section, I need to click on smartphones and I need to make sure that it was deactivated properly. And if it wasn't, then I need to, sometimes what happens is that you'll deactivate a phone and you can see that the image is not there. It means that you need to kind of give this page itself another activation. So you might see that the picture is missing or something like that. So in that situation, what I do, I give the smartphone's landing page itself. So this page that I have my mouse on, I give it another activation. And I just kind of do a refresh of the page to make sure it's okay. So it's all about checking to make sure that the changes you're doing are actually done properly as well. Does that make sense, Cherise?
Yes, I have another question.
Sure.
On St. Lucia here that you're using, the first price is, the balance is 0. And I realized that on our page as well, we have the same issue. Is that a technical error on your end?
No, if it's 0, it should be, that means that it's, you guys gave us to that as that's some kind of deal.
Okay.
Right, like I know some markets really have it where you may get a postpaid price for 0 or something like that. You know, some kind of, some kind of deal like that. But if it is that the price is incorrect, then no, you definitely should go in and add the correct price label within the page properties. Sorry, Calvi, are you still hearing and Damien the background noise?
Yeah, I still am.
Okay. Guys, they're hearing all the background noise. Okay, sorry, we'll try to be quiet. So, well, not me, but my neighbors. Okay. Alright, so does anybody else have any questions about the smartphones or any phones and devices? You would edit the tablet or any kind of device, basic phone, in the same way that you'd edit smartphone. So it's just adding that content in the page properties and adding the images. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and just please remember to check the pages that are referenced by this device to make sure that they're okay. You always have to check your work. Okay, if there's no more questions about phones and devices, if we're absolutely sure that we can go in and at least attempt to create a new phones page, then I'm going to go to plans and services. So stop me if you have a question.
No, man. Let's forget explore. Talk about plans and services. I want to look at your speaking on business plan.
Sorry, plans and services, no. Since no one else has anything on questions on phones, I'm going to move on. So I'm going to choose another market that I have not been in. Just keep in mind that I'm in the UAT environment, so this is not what you would see if you were in author. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, plans and services. Alright, so our plans and services page now has the new design that consists of the banners. Alright, so again, this is not something that you guys are going to be changing all of that often, but you will want to change your banners. This is standard. Postpaid, prepaid, half banners are standard, and there's really not much, if anything, that you should ever want to do with that, because you're going to edit, you would only edit just the link, and that should general banners. I'm honestly not going to go back over this unless you guys have a question or want to see it again, because it's just changing the path. So this is your plans and services landing page. Does anybody want me to go back over the general banner, or can I move on? John, what do you mean by mean to? Is that you need me or you need me not to? Okay, good. Perfect. All right. Okay, so since you guys don't need me to, great. Wonderful. We'll move on to the next step, but I just want you to keep in mind that this is something that you'll have to keep up to date. You know, this is something that you should be changing out depending on what you have on the market on your website. So if you have prepaid, postpaid, and you have roaming here or data, that's something that should be there standard. Just give me 1 second. Someone is said they're not hearing. Okay, Shade, I'm not sure. Can you try shifting your settings again? Can you try logging back out and changing the settings, because others are hearing me on here. I'm not sure why. Or if you can, please join us on Skype for Business. Okay, just Troy from Antigua said try refreshing your page. Okay. Please. All right. Thanks. All right. I'm gonna move on from this then. I just wanted you to keep in mind how the plans and services looks. All right. So underneath your plans and services structure, remember anything that's underneath the landing page is a child of the landing page and is kind of pulled in underneath there. So prepaid, let's look at the prepaid landing page and you can see what the new design looks like. The plans and services components. Oh, I have a little crash. Let's try this again. Okay, Sharia, are you able to join from Skype for Business? Have you tried? All right, I'm going to double click and open up prepaid so that we can kind of test some of the prepaid components.
But to be honest, all of the stuff, to take it in properly, you kind of need to practice it.
Hello, who's that speaking? Okay. Keeps crashing. Yeah.
Do you have the new instance, the one that the carriers in? If you have access to
No,
the
but I don't want to.
QA. Yeah.
There's a new
That's the only one
QA.
that's stable. There's a QA, yeah. It's like.
I don't. I've used it before, but not for a long time. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. Trying to find a stable link to have this work. Can you IM me or something, Chad? I don't know. Skype me. All of this?
No, just 208 with a 209 in. It's still 45.
But I can actually work in that?
You're right there. What's that?
I've used that before. Okay, that's right. We'll try with this one. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying a stable environment to work this in. Okay. Let's just go on Jamaica. Alright, so we're practicing our plans and services. Just keep in mind not to activate anything as we go along here. Because since we're all just doing this for the purpose of testing. So even if you're following behind in the CMS, don't activate anything. So we need to create a new page. And that new page needs to be, can anybody tell me what template they think I'd be using? I'll bring it up to help you. Waiting for somebody to tell me what template to use. So take a look at what's on my screen and somebody tell me which one it is. Can I hear from somebody who I have not heard from today? Okay, thanks. Yep, it's the plan detail page. So like I said, again, if you don't know which one, you can always look to the side at template and it will tell you what was used. To be honest though, some of these might have been market content page. You want to use the correct template because it pulls it in correctly. And when you use that template, it means that it already has certain sections done for you. So it saves you a lot of time and trouble. Whereas you could use the market content page. However, one, it's not going to put in the content the way you want it to. Two, it's going to give you more work. So that's why we're going to use plan detail page in this situation. So I have my title in. I'm not going to put in my name, but you guys could if you wanted to. And I'm going to do Thank you, John. Okay, now based on the new design, what we would do is we would put a general banner here on this page. However, because I showed you guys how to do that already, I'm not going to go back to that, but let's just if I go to my prepaid page, sorry, it's a bit slow. Okay, so this is what I mean. Based on the new design, we have a banner at the top of the page here. And then beneath the banner, we have the content. And I'm going to show you these new expandables that you can use to create content. So our general banner component would be at the top of the page. And then we're going to use a title. And the title's already there for you, so life is easy. You're just going to right click edit and you're going to put your title in. We have some options in terms of color. I wouldn't get too crazy with this. And okay. Did everybody get that? Thank you. Okay, great. So that was the easy part. It really is next deciding what your plans page will look like depending on the type of products that you guys have. We have this very colorful component here that Jamaica uses because they have 3 plans that they want to have side by side. And so this component works because it fits a maximum of 4 columns. But it really depends on the type of content, because if you have, let's say, if you have postpaid plans but you have 9 postpaid plans or like 8 postpaid plans, you're not going to want to use this table for that type of content. In that situation, we have the traditional tables that you guys can use, so you can still portray those, that type of content. But I'm going to show you how to use this component, and this component here with the color is called the plan selector component. Any questions so far? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this component and then we'll take an hour break so we can go to lunch. So basically, you know, AEM tries to give you some direction about where you put things. So it says drag or components or assets here, and that gives you an indication as to where you can put something. Janelle has a question. Janelle, you have a lot of options in terms of how you lay the content out. We want it to be similar across all markets in terms of, you know, a lot of the design, but you have options in terms of how things done, and obviously your content is unique, so it really depends on how you really want to display it. I think the components are the answer because you can do different things with them. Okay, so for this situation, what we're going to do is we're going to do new, and I'm going to look for the component that I just mentioned, which is called the plan selector component. And again, I don't know where everything is by heart. It's usually in alphabetical order, but it's just kind of finding where that component is that you need. Okay, so here I found it. It's called plan selector. All right, freezing a bit. Oh, you had a little boo-boo there. I'll try one more time, and if it doesn't work, then we'll take a break. Maybe the system is tired. and hungry, like probably the rest of you are as well. Okay.
Maybe just like to catch up.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a break for lunch. So we'll be back about 1:30, and we'll find that the system is working a bit better than then. If I have another URL I can use, I'll try to use that. Another test environment. Are there any questions before we break for lunch?